Kwentuhan, tawanan, ngunit maraming matututunan.
This is a podcast of empowered women empowering other women
Through conversations about growth,
and wellness.
this is the GAWfriends podcast.
Podcast.
We are your hosts. I'm Marvy.
And I'm Aik. Every Wednesday, we will be sharing tips about holistic wellness.
And learning and professional growth.
Together, we will discover a happier,
And a better version of you. So hey, GAWfriends!
let's get the fun started.
And if you are new to this podcast, Aik,
Yes, we welcome you. Again, as what Marvy have said, this is a growth and wellness podcast where we empower women, right? And we are going to be welcoming another girlfriend of ours. And we will introduce her.
yeah. So I am very honored to introduce our guest. She's very special to me. She's a good friend, but I'm also very amazed with the things that she has accomplished from the time that we worked together as trainers.
Oh, you're making me,
Right,
you're making me
right,
blush,
Gail.
Marby. Seriously. Oh my God.
Yeah, but anyway, so let me introduce our special guest tonight. Our guest is the CEO of Creative Kartel and a filmmaker. So everyone, GAWfriends, let's all welcome Miss Gayle Oblea. Hi, Gail.
Hey,
Nice to have you
everyone.
here.
Hi,
Hello. Thank
Gail.
you so much for inviting me over.
It's our
Of
pleasure.
So I remember
course.
Marby just sent me a message randomly on Facebook one day and then told me, hey, can I invite you over for International Women's Day? I was like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm waiting for more invitations.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's perfect because again, this podcast is all about growth and wellness, and we really want to use this platform so we could inspire women to aim for, again, growth, and embrace holistic wellness in their lives. So you're one of the perfect, women who we could showcase in this platform. So thank you, Gail, for accepting our invitation.
Cool. All right. So, as you know, we are continuing the celebration of International Women's Month, right? And just
You guys
last
froze.
Monday,
Oh, there.
sorry. So yeah, just last Monday, we have celebrated the International Women's Day. That's March 8th, right? So, Gail, how do you celebrate being a woman?
All right. I think we are having some technical issues. Anyway, let's wait for Gail to log back in. We're in the Philippines, so internet could be unreliable sometimes. But anyway, so going back to your question, Yi,
True. Yeah.
it's last March 8th. It's the
Yeah.
International Women's Month.
How about you, Marvy? How did you celebrate the International Women's Day?
Well, nothing very special, but I think I actually posted something on my social media channels, and I realized that when we were growing up, we were told as girls, right? When you're young, we were told that we're going to be wives, we're going to be mothers one day, or maybe we're going to be a nurse or a teacher. All those roles that are expected for women,
Definitely.
right? But they never.
Okay,
But
that
they
is
never.
so weird.
Hi, Gail. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Gail.
I have never had a good relationship with technology ever since. I don't-
It's all right. It
Yeah.
happens to all of us, most especially in going live. That's the con.
Yeah, it's all right. No worries. So
Okay.
yeah.
Continue, Marvy.
So Gail, we were just talking about, because last March 8th was the International Women's Day, right?
Day.
And I was just sharing about the thing that I posted on social media about my thoughts, about being a woman. Because when we were younger, when we were girls, we were told that we're going to be mothers, we're going to be wives, or we're going to be a nurse or a teacher, or any of those roles that, are expected for women, right?
That's
But
true.
we weren't really told that you can be that, or if you like, you can also be a scientist, you can also be a a president of a country. You could also be
Mhm.
a businesswoman. You could also be a founder of your own company, right? Because but a lot of things have changed, right? So I'm hoping that the conversations now around um, empowering women, especially especially young girls, is to believe that they can be anything, not just what the society dictates, right? So
Totally.
that's what I recalled on that day, and I reflected on that day. How about you?
Right.
Maybe Gail, how about you? I know
Yeah.
you had this really long post on that day. So how did you celebrate
Yeah.
the International Women's Day?
Yeah.
Well, when I saw, actually, I was reminded by Facebook that it was International Women's Day because my previous job before I became a filmmaker, like a full grown filmmaker, was I was working for this corporate company, and I was handling its marketing, and I was handling mostly of its in-house commercials, right? And we had like a special feature, a special video um about International Women's Day. Actually, it was International Women's Month. March is it's
The
entirely like
entire month,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
honoring women and all that, right? But during that day, when I got when I got reminded by it, I I actually was having my own thoughts about, we don't really have, I mean, why do we celebrate it in just this particular month, right?
Yeah, why
I
just
mean,
March?
women should always be celebrated, right? Women should
True.
always be celebrated. Women should always be proud about themselves. Women should always be, what should always be outspoken about, whatever the other gender can do, or whatever genders that we have, we all can do that as long as there's determination,
True.
there's, there's determination, there's passion, there's heart,
Oh
right?
yes.
In whatever path you want to take, right? And that day I was actually um looking, there's a really funny story because I was like browsing through some posts, and I think this is a really good platform for me to share that. um I'm not generalizing a specific generation, but it's just that, um what about being a feminist, or about being about celebrating becoming a woman, or celebrating becoming a man or whatnot, right? I
Mhm.
think there's like a different perspective about it, through the
Mhm.
years in different generations. And I love it that, that there's, compared to how it was before, the equality right now is really, it has
It has improved.
evolved. It has improved.
Definitely.
It has evolved. But
Yep.
sometimes it just goes a bit overboard. Now, what do I mean by that? Um, there's a huge distinction between, like, because I've been seeing posts about, my body, like my rules, my body, right? And when you use that hashtag, obviously most girls would be, flaunting a really sexy picture
Yep.
to a point
Mhm.
wherein, it's too provocative for social media. Now, I have nothing against that. It's just that I think, people are just too exploited, like too over there. You get what I mean. I feel that
Totally
Mhm.
there should
agree.
always still
Mhm.
be a bit of boundaries, right? And
Mhm.
I, from in my perspective, I just don't like the fact that, some women make use of, that reasoning to
Mhm.
celebrate becoming a woman, right? That's why my post was, you know, I, I'm not defined by my curves, right?
Yeah.
I'm not defined by my title. I'm not defined
Yeah.
by whatever kind of income I get, right?
Yep.
I'm not defined by past or the issues that I've done in the past, right? I'd
Yeah.
rather be
Definitely.
defined by, right? I'd rather be defined by someone who, leads by example and walks the talk, right? If I do something, then I do something. I do something
Yeah.
about it. I exert
Exactly.
effort into it and make sure that I become a voice, right? making sure that these people are aware of what's right from what's wrong. We all have a understanding of what that means. It's just that you know things just get a little bit overboard. I feel that there should always still be boundaries, right? So that's how I celebrated myself. I mean, how I celebrated me being a woman that very
Perfect.
particular day, right?
Yeah.
But it's like what I said. Being a woman, it's all about really like weighing in, right? What we should be doing. How do we lead by example? How do we show these people that that even if I am of this particular gender, I can make things possible.
Yeah.
Oh
There.
yes. Yeah,
Perfect.
and that's
Perfect.
very much aligned to our episode today, right? Because
Exactly.
there's so many things that the society dictates to us that you're not
Like
supposed to be.
way.
You're
That's
not
true.
supposed to be this. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be this. You should be doing this, not that, right? But
True.
you shouldn't be defined by those norms, by those standards, right? Because you could
That's true.
define it yourself, whatever it is that you want to become, right?
That's right.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I also agree with Gail because sometimes us celebrating womanhood, we tend to misuse the word self entitlement, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
like
That's right.
some like some women or probably like younger ones will probably misuse this or do not really know the definition of being entitled into something, and so that's
I
why
super agree.
Karen, I mean, Gail said that this is where some things get overboard. And it's very important as a woman that we know our values,
I
right?
super agree.
And
Right?
so,
Because I'm a mom. Marby's a mom. I don't know. I'm sorry, but or I mean, being a mom, right? Sometimes you gotta really have to do a little bit of restrictions here and there, and you gotta be an example. The thing is, social media is just out in the open, and some kids have their own Facebook, right? Facebook
Yeah.
accounts. They have their Instagram, where they shouldn't have these social. They can't have these social media accesses.
You're supposed to
I
be 18 to have
yeah.
social
right.
media account, right? But
Back
yeah.
in those days, what have we been doing? Like, playing outside,
Yeah.
enjoying nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Way
during
too
my time
different.
when I was 18, I had Facebook. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
Oh my gosh, Gail.
oh, I remember a specific story about your one of your Facebook mishaps.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
that's for a different day.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We
We
can
talked
spend
about
all
it in
day
our
talking about
session.
that. All right. So yeah, women, it there's so many conversations around, how women should carry themselves, the standards for women, etc.
That's true.
But again, at the end of the day, it's really about who we are as human beings, not
Exactly.
defined by our gender, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And let me just say hi, Gail and Aik. We actually have viewers on Facebook.
We
So
do?
why don't we just
Hello,
say hi to all
everyone.
of them?
Good
Uh,
evening.
Casimiro, hello po. Dana.
Hi.
Dana, she's
Dana
saying
says,
hi to
let's go,
Gail.
Gail. I think you know Dana.
Yeah, Dana
Yeah.
is part of my team. She's part of Creative Kartel. She's my
Awesome.
assistant director.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Hello,
Yeah.
Dana. Welcome
Nice.
to the GAWfriends podcast. Jane. And yeah, Dana, there you go. So
And of
hello,
course,
Paula.
our regular golf
Oh,
friends and viewers, Joy and Paul are here. Yeah.
yeah, hello. And they're also certified golf friends,
Yes.
and I'm sure they have their own stories as well of being women. All right. So Gail, you mentioned earlier that you're now a filmmaker, but if we trace probably 10 years back, Gail, we were
Uh,
together in NCO. We were part of the
uh,
training team. Was it
around
10
11 years ago.
11,
Around
10, 10,
11.
10, 11 years ago? We were in the corporate world. We were doing training, leadership development, etc., and then you move into internal marketing, internal communications. So you've spent a lot of your, a lot of the years in your career developing people, and then you were able to kind of steer it, to shift it to your passion in, being a filmmaker, being in the creative
Mhm.
side of things. So maybe you could share with us, how were you able to manage that transition from, again, being into corporate and now as a filmmaker? How did you make that happen, Gail?
I've always loved answering this type of question because this always comes up out of the open. I've always been an open book about my
Yeah,
story and about my life. I mean, Marby has met me years ago. She met me when I was 18 years old. Like, we've known each other for
she's our
a
baby.
very, yeah, I was a
Oh.
baby in NCO. I was a baby in the learning and development department. I was a trainer. Now, to be completely honest with you, I've always dreamed of, becoming a filmmaker has always been a dream of mine since I was very young, right? I've been, you know, I used to like write down stories on my notebook, right? Or every time
Wow.
I see something, I just come up with, I just, I just talk, like I just think of a dialogue out of nowhere. Like, I love watching movies. Sometimes I talk to myself, and sometimes I can't control it. That's why some people think that I'm crazy. but but the reality is, I'm actually
You're
just
just creative.
formulating. I'm just trying to like formulate a specific dialogue about a specific scene that I just thought of out of nowhere, right? So,
Wow.
but then again, unfortunately, life wasn't so easy, right? I had a lot of responsibilities. I was, I sent my sister to school. I had a younger sister who was still in high school, and when I joined the corporate world, well, basically, we were financially, we had financial problems. So I really had to go and look for a job, and I had to support her all the way, like till like she graduated from college. So I had to set aside that particular dream of mine for the meantime, right?
Hmm.
I like
And
that. In the meantime.
in the
Yeah, it's
meantime,
very
right?
important.
But I've always set my mind that, once things are already ready in God's time, as they say, right? There's always perfect timing for something. And I felt
Indeed.
like when my sister graduated from college, and I was able to like earn a couple of money, right? And at the same time, I'd be able to like spare a couple more bucks for something else because my sister already graduated, and I like specifically told her, you gotta look for a job like 3 months. You gotta look for a job. Like, I'm not gonna fucking. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna support you. I'm sorry. I just said a word. I'm not supposed to be saying,
That's
but
all right.
and she followed, right. So I had a couple of money like spared, and at the same time, like Vicky was there. Vicky, I've always, there's always a special heart and always a special line that I would have to dedicate it to Vicky. Vicky used to be a boss of ours, Marby and I.
Yeah, yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
Always
Was
just super
Vicky.
supportive. So she, I talked to her and I told her like, I really want to become a filmmaker, mom. Like, she was our mommy, like, and and she said, go ahead, baby, go ahead, hun. And
with
just
with that tone of voice.
with that
I could
with
I
that
could
tone, like, I
imagine.
was
Yeah.
exactly right. I saw this, so I looked at a couple of like, a couple of schools, and I knew like, actually, there's this one eye opener. Like, there's like a brain, like a a a light bulb moment, or probably a realization, like slow mo, like
An
everything just went
aha
slow mo,
moment.
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Moment. When Francis Kong, you guys are aware of, you
Yeah.
guys know who Francis Kong is, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So he had he spoke, he visited, he was a guest speaker at Alorica, and I hosted that event for him.
Mm.
And then one of the audience asked him a question because he had like a Q&A session at the latter part of the event. of this event. I have money. Like I have a couple of bucks to spare, but I don't know where investing it on. And then Francis Kong went ahead and just asked them, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do in your life?" And then he said something about something culinary related. And then Francis Kong said, "All right, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna use that money to go back to school and get educated on that specific field that you want to take." And that was like a slow mo moment for me. It's like,
That
Aha.
all
was an
right,
answer for me.
Yeah.
exactly. It was an answer. Like,
The answer that you
because
needed.
yeah, and when I was a trainer, I'd always use this line like, you don't really have to be a graduate in order to become successful. I still believe in that till this day, but I also believe that you, in order to become really good at something, you gotta learn the basics. Like you gotta
Yeah,
learn the very
definitely.
basics.
Yeah, you need
Um,
to get yourself educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly right. It's the best thing,
Mhm.
and plus there's no such thing as wasted effort in it. You already know it. It's it you don't waste time, right, to learn something, right, or to be
Definitely.
reminded about a specific topic that you're already aware of, right? So I decided to go back. Like I decided to go back to school. I took a 4-year course. Believe it or not, I took a
Wow.
4-year I took a 4-year course, and at the same time, I was working for Alorica. So just imagine that I was a full time student, a full time employee. It was
Yeah.
crazy. 4 years
Awesome.
of my 4 years of my life. I think I'd be thankful. I'd be thankful if I get like 3 hours of sleep max, right?
Sacrifice, yeah. Really
Yeah,
wanted something. Sure.
definitely.
So good. Yeah.
So it wasn't
I
easy. It wasn't easy. A lot of sacrifices to be made, like time. You got to sacrifice time, right? Time with my family got a little bit sacrificed, but I really have to a lot. At least, I mean, during the weekends, I have to make sure that Saturdays and Sundays I got to really dedicate it solely to my son, right? We go out and have dinner or have lunch,
yeah.
um, and then after that, when finally I felt like there was an urge in me that I gotta do something about it, that I can't just be a graduate of film, right? That's the thing. That's a problem with with sometimes with graduates, right? You graduate, but you're just stuck there, right? So how do you do something about it? You gotta really it's all about mindsetting, right? You gotta
I
like
love it.
lay it out, write it down. What do you want in the next 6 months? What do you want in the next year? What do you want in the next 3 years,
That
right?
Right.
specific.
And
Yeah.
right, and you gotta be really specific. Like you gotta make use of your SMART goals,
True.
like smart, like
Over years,
specific,
but very
measurable, attainable,
reliable. Yeah.
realistic, right? All that
Gotta rely
haberdashery.
on that.
Yeah. And then the I think what jump started it was I decided to like start on. So I'm blessed to be like surrounded by really talented and good friends, such as Dana, who's currently watching, and I bet Rigo's with her right now, who's also part of Creative Kartel, right? So um I'm blessed that I'm surrounded by really talented people and who actually had faith and believed in me, like
Yeah.
believed in my
Very
leadership.
important.
And I
Mhm.
told them, we got to start writing down stories. And then we just started, we started out with short stories, right? Short stories, videotaping it using our phones, right? Till, we got a little bit, got money, right? Let's make use of a camera. If we don't have money, we borrow a camera, right? Or rent it, right? Rent a
Yeah.
DOP, and then
Resourceful.
execute
Yeah.
that, from then on, and then exactly, and then when we felt like we're pretty ready, we joined this competition called Cinesic Club, It was a like a it was a film festival. It was a short film festival, right? And we entered one of the films that we made, right? It was Blush. Um, and and we didn't know because we were like, I think we joined the competition last minute, and then we won almost all of the awards.
Oh
Wow.
wow. Oh
We
my
won almost all
Amazing.
of
gosh.
the awards, which
Oh my
is till this
gosh.
very day. I'm still very proud. I mean, it
Of
didn't win Best
course.
Picture. Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you. It didn't win Best Picture though,
For sure, you
but
deserve them. Yeah, you
yeah, because
definitely.
that's for next year.
Definitely do.
Oh
So
yes, let's claim it.
yeah,
Cool.
I'm already claiming it. We're winning Best Film next year, right?
Cool. That's
So
the spirit. Yeah.
thank you. So there, and then we won that for short film, and then we were all like, what other fields have we not tried? So we do video now. So I don't know that if you guys are aware of Kalain. So they're a band under OC Records.
Mm-hmm.
Now we wrote a story and directed a film for their song called Umaasa.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you guys can check it out
This,
on YouTube.
yeah.
So we directed that, and as time went by, we just gained more, I guess, more following, more
Yeah.
followers. And then we tried out like events as well. We tried out like and one more, and the thing is, just so that you guys are aware, these are like out of our own pocket. Like we did not get any sponsoring or whatsoever, right? Actually, I got a little bit from Vicky. I got a little bit from Vicky, but but then again, she's my mom, so she's like, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
right? Like, do it, right? So she's always been very supportive. That's why thank you, mama. Um, but we didn't like really from the clients that we did these videos for. We never really asked money from them. We never asked money from the onset. Like a couple of years ago, we didn't ask money from them because we wanted to train ourselves too, like train ourselves
Yeah,
with
like
all
that's
the
on the job
pressure.
training.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like um
It's got to
train
make use and
ourselves with all the
maximize your resources.
pressure.
Yeah.
Right. The pressure, the stress, all the fighting, all the internal fighting, all the internal
Oh,
dramas,
yes.
right? Because these are things that you don't learn from school. You just
Exactly.
learn
Exactly.
it from
Yeah.
experience,
Sure.
right?
They
So
don't
better
teach
yet that we
that in school.
experience it now.
Yeah. It's
That's
for
right.
sure. It's
So
gruesome mentally and physically. I can imagine.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was that's why and all the more it became satisfying. All the more that we feel super fulfilled about what we've done because of all the drama, because of all the the challenges that we were able
Yeah.
right? And then
Definitely.
that we were already doing, and as we grew our connections, that's when we got more clients, and that's when we talked. We got to start our own company, right?
Oh,
And then we
okay.
registered it.
So Creative Cartel wasn't there
At
yet.
the beginning.
It was
Yeah.
So,
well, Creative Cartel wasn't there yet. It wasn't yet there yet because Creative Cartel was launched in 2020. It was launched in 2020.
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Okay.
part of a different production team um, in 2018 in the past. And well, I don't want to talk about that much because
Yeah, that's all
there's like
right.
an
Yeah.
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 Anyways, and that's when we decided, my buddies and I, and my colleagues, my best friends, like, let's launch our own, company where we offer all these services, right? So that's where Creative Cartel was born. So we designed it into three verticals. So Creative Cartel is like the umbrella company. So under that, there are three different verticals. There's film production and events. So everything that's related to film, everything that's about production, everything that specific vertical. And then there's graphics design and animation. And then the last one is more on web development, applications, and content, right? Content writing. So, because we came from a film school, because we came from an art school, we and since we grew our network, we also invited a couple of artists in, and then
Yeah.
and then ask them, would you want to, get a couple of, earn a couple of money, right? We get the right clients for you, and vice versa. We get the right, artist for a specific client. Um, and that's basically what Creative Cartel does, right? It chooses the right artist for the right client. So there.
I love
So
it.
Yes. Yeah.
so so
Mhm. That's very personal, that actually shows how passionate you are in doing what you do. It's really good. It's really nice. It's very inspiring. A lot of girlfriends for sure gonna
thank you.
pick up us so much, so much. We just had like two questions, but we've picked up so many things from you, Gail. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh dear. I mean, sometimes I worry about how talkative I could get. I mean, sometimes I go off topic. I'm that kind of
it's all right. We'll probably spend the whole night here. We have
just
so
stop
many
me
viewers.
whenever.
Yeah. We have so many viewers right now and active viewers, by the way. We've got like so many comments. I just want to say and shout out to the other half of our viewers. We have actually the sister of Marby, Sheena, and her mom, Tita Ruby. How are you? She's saying hi. My mom is here. My mom, Anne.
Hi. Hey
Eric,
everyone.
Gail would like to say, you got my support, Gail. A good
Thanks,
friend of yours,
man.
Eric Karingal. Yeah.
Thank you
And
so much.
also a
Yeah.
good friend of mine, Rachel, and she said it's really a blessing to be surrounded with these people who are very creative, talented, right? It's really a hashtag tribe. And this is what we really
Agree.
do. Yeah. And so, Gail, I just want to share to you quickly. Last podcast, the episode is actually I'm Unstoppable with My Passion. Yeah. And it's really important because in order for you to start something or going from A to B, you need to have that passion. But for you,
Yes.
what I've learned is like, yes, passion will kickstart you, but a plus is actually that determination and the talent because Gail has it already and she identified that this is her talent and she wants to push it through, right? And so, because other people will have like, so much passion in it, but they don't have a talent. And so that's why at the middle of it, they struggle. But
Right.
lest
Or they don't work
fail.
hard.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah. So that is
That's
why that
true.
the dedication comes in, right? And that three manifestation of Gail all throughout the journey of her having the Creative Cartel be successful is in it. It's really there. And I like it when you said that you did not do any marketing, or you did not even ask any sponsors. It's because you let the product do the talking, right? This is what happened
Exactly.
to Creative Cartel, which I really
Exactly.
adore.
And if I could just insert a little thing about that. I mean, because I'd like to and I'd like to relate this to what you said earlier about self entitlement, right?
Mm.
I'm not generalizing, but let's just be honest. More kids nowadays are super entitled. I don't know. I'm just being very
Totally agree with you.
very honest. Right?
Oh yes.
Super entitled. Like, I don't get this. I mean, I'm a graduate, but I need to get this much. Like I need to be earning this much.
Mhm.
I need to be earning this much. I need to be this and that. But then again, if you look at the end product, or sometimes the end product you don't even reach the end product because they just give up, right? There's
I
Yeah.
just too
agree.
much entitlement, but there's no effort, right? There's
Yeah.
no execution. And that's where the problem comes in, right? And I just really want to reiterate that to what you said, right? You gotta, that's why with the people that I've mentored through the years, I keep telling them, you gotta show them, the more that you gotta show what your end product is, product should be.
Yep.
Forget about the money first. Forget about compensation for the meantime, right? And just, really, invest on your time, invest on your creativity, invest on, improving yourself in pitching products to other people,
Exactly.
and really like invest yourself in negotiating, learning how to negotiate with people, and forget about money now for the meantime. I mean, money is important, but it
It's
should
gonna
always
come.
come
It's gonna
Totally.
second.
come.
Yeah,
It's
it
gonna
will come.
It's
come.
gonna come.
It will come.
That's
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
what I keep telling them. Like, if you're end up really thinking about self entitlement, you're gonna really think about, I'm entitled to this and that. Shut up. Work. Work, execute, right plan, show them what you got,
When
be
you
great, amazing,
yeah,
right?
when
And
you
then
enter the real
when you've
world, it's
already
harsh.
true, and then if you've
Yeah.
already compiled, like,
Entitlement is
don't
not
be
enough.
true. And I don't know the English word for it, but like, wag kang manghinayang, right? Wag kang manghinayang if, let's say, this SDE, this wedding SDE, like, you covered an event, you made a video for after the wedding, right? Don't feel bad about, like, I should have gotten, like, what, 80,000 pesos out of this video,
Mm,
right? No, don't feel bad about that, because that's also an added portfolio, right?
yeah.
What you keep adding stuff on your portfolio, the more that, the more,
You
if you
will
if
become
you meet
credible.
up with a
The
really big
more
client.
the more you
Exactly.
Exactly.
become credible, the more
Exactly.
you increase acquire new skills, right?
Exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
hindi naman nasayang, right? So
Exactly.
you have a
Yeah.
portfolio, you show them that, right? You get more clients. Then when you're already ready, when things are already in place, then you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And can
You can ask for the price. Yeah. Your
exactly.
price.
I I
True.
remember when I started working, my first pay was 11,000 pesos,
Mm.
That was a very
right?
long time ago, Marby.
I know, right?
Marby.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention when, but it was
I'm
11,000
kidding.
pesos.
It's from,
Right? So if you think about, and that's why I'm very surprised when since we're talking about self entitlement, when you hear or you get to talk to new grads who are already aiming for a job that gives high compensation, right?
That's
When you
right.
haven't really had much experience.
exactly.
So yeah, that's a really good lesson there. So from that conversation, Gail, what I've picked up really is no pain, no gain. You
Yes.
That's
really have to
true.
go
That is
through
so
that
true.
difficult path, difficult road, tough road, so that you could gain later on,
Yeah.
right?
That's
And it's
true.
so much sweeter when you work
Correct. I love it. That's right.
you work hard for it that hard. And just like what Gail said, that you really have to invest in
Super
yourself.
agree.
Yeah, when you said that you have to invest in yourself, because
Oh
most
yes,
especially nowadays, when everybody is looking at you, from head to toe, looking at your credentials, it's very important for you to build that. Yeah, because
that's right. I
it's not enough that you have a passion. It's not enough that you have a talent. This is where you build really an empire, through your works. Through This is where you made credible for yourself. Yeah. So,
I
but
super
Gail, for
agree.
sure, this is not a walk in the park for you, right? Definitely, no pain, no gain, right? Could you share some of the challenges that you have experienced, um, personally as a career
Nope.
woman, trying to build a company
Nope.
at the same time you are a mother? What are these challenges that you have to go through?
Well, when I was a student, I still
I think
right, like what
Gail
you
is
mentioned, juggling
okay.
with
There you
becoming a
go.
mother. Am I still here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were cutting
There you
in
go.
and
All
out
right. So,
a while ago, but
I
you're
guess.
good now.
Oh, okay. Is this
Mhm.
better now?
Yeah,
Okay.
better.
So I think the big that I encountered time, mostly time, I was working full time in the corporate company that I still love until this day. I worked for Alorica, which was NCO, was EG, which was APAC back then, right? Go of that. I can't just let go of my regular job because basically it was paying for my family's needs and was paying for my tuition fee, right? And I had a kid who was about to go to school too, so I had to make sure that I allot money for that, right? So really challenging. The money that I was making wasn't enough, so I did a couple of voiceovers for because I'm a voiceover talent, right? I'm a
Mhm.
voiceover talent. I do voiceovers for some YouTube channels like Watch Mojo and a couple of other companies locally and some commercials. Um, in order to suffice to all the needs all the responsibilities that I was taking in, it wasn't easy. Definitely wasn't easy, especially with my mental health, right? Mental health. I noticed that was like a turning point in my life wherein I knew that I had to give up something later on. I had to give up something later on
Mm.
because it wasn't, mental health wasn't, I wasn't okay, right? And I was, I needed more time to focus more. So I made a decision. I think this was back in 2018. Oh no, 2019, December 2019, when I decided when I get back to work, I will have to file my resignation.
Mhm.
And I spoke to my boss. I told him like, I went back to school because this is really my dream. I really want to become a filmmaker, and I don't think that I'd be able to like exert or show my full if I am, if I'm doing a tug of war, right? I'm
Mm.
doing a tug of war, right, with
True.
two different careers, right? Actually, three different careers, right? Because I was during that time, I was already like doing all these, entering all these competitions. We were already making short films, and then we were already making a music video. So that's when I decided, I would have to say goodbye to that to a home that to the home that I considered for 11 wonderful years. So so I left Alorica, and that's when I had more time. But then again, pandemic happened, right? And it was it was also pretty challenging, right? Because there were a lot of restrictions, but it gave me more time to it gave me more time to spend it with my family, to spend it with my son, right? And at the same time, plan,
Mm.
right? And at the same time, plan,
Planning really is key, especially if you
Mhm.
want to do,
right?
if you have
Oh yeah.
many dreams,
True.
many
That's
things that you
right.
want to accomplish, right?
One at a
That's right.
time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I like that
So
you mentioned about planning, Gail. Yeah.
yeah, planning is a huge thing. You can't just simply say, it's all in my head. I'm gonna forget it or whatever. No, no, write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down. Right? Write it down, plan, and then make a plan for yourself, make a plan for the people that you love, right?
Mhm.
And that's how you trigger that, you jumpstart your passion. Everybody's got passion. Everybody's got everybody knows what they want to do, right? Or I mean, not
Yeah.
everyone, but I mean, later on, you will find that path. You will get to that path. But in
Mm-hmm.
order to execute that, you got to have motivation. In
Yeah.
order to become motivated, you got to remember all the people, all the things that you want to achieve, all the, whatever prestige, wins, milestones, whatnot, right? You got to keep them all in here, right? And or go back to that notebook, write it down, go back to the
Mhm.
notebook, and then remind yourself every day that this is what I want to do,
Oh
right?
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is what I want to
Definitely.
happen, right? And if I don't do anything, well, You're just gonna be
Yeah.
just an ordinary graduate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
And many people disregard that, that's very simple if you think about it.
Hmm.
But people usually ignore that simple task of writing your plans down because
That's
you have
true.
it written on paper. It written on paper, or maybe on your, I don't know, on your device. Have it somewhere, right? Because
True.
it helps you plan, it helps you become more objective, and it helps you realize what you need to accomplish if you have written it down.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So
Okay.
kids who are watching, gotta do it. Write it down.
Yeah. Write it down.
Especially for the kids, because they're so used to things being so easy to get.
Yeah. And
Or
Anyway, yeah,
techie.
very
Write,
No.
writing
techy.
and writing it down. I mean, for the kids, for sure, like they don't like writing anymore. For probably they
Oh
have
yeah,
their
especially,
tablets.
exactly, especially now that they're doing
Yeah,
online schooling.
online schooling. Just be
Yeah,
more. It's more of like what Gail is telling us: is be more intentional with our
I
goals and
like
our
that. That's
plans. Yeah,
true. That's
because
true.
whenever you write it down or wherever you put a note on it, you're always being reminded about your future, about your goals, and how you'll be able to succeed it. Yeah. And I like what she said a while ago, that you have to be as specific as possible, either a micro goal, or like a major
Or a
goal.
long-term
Everything
goal.
should
Yeah,
be specific. Correct. Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Oh,
yeah. So,
also,
mhm.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I also want to add, like, because I only encounter like two different challenges. I feel like the biggest challenge is, of course, time, and the other one, let's be honest, people.
Mm,
It's one of the biggest challenges, dealing with people, dealing with emotions, because
Right.
this is the thing. Not everybody's gonna love you, especially in
You
this
have to accept.
industry.
We have to
oh,
accept that, right?
yeah.
You gotta accept that.
You
And
can't
it was
please everyone.
Most often than
true.
not, you will receive a lot of rejections, more
Oh
That
rejections.
is
yes.
that is
Yeah.
true. A lot of rejections and a lot of awful people. Like a lot of people would really take advantage of you. Like I'm not just specifically talking about this industry, but I'm talking in general, right? Dealing with emotions is like the biggest challenge ever because what do we do every day? Like if you have a certain goal, right, and if you're surrounded by different people in the same field, your goal is to make sure that you become united and you have that, you reach for a specific goal in order to make it
Oh.
happen. For example, our film, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, Pag Ani, right? Our upcoming film, Pag Ani. Um, of course, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. There were drama, right, behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes,
Mm-hmm.
right? That people don't see, right? People don't see,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
but that all the more that your film or the end product becomes more successful because of the memories that you share, right? You're never gonna please everyone. Someone out there is gonna hate you. Someone
Yeah.
out there is gonna hate you to the guts, right? And the same way, vice versa. Someone out there, you're gonna hate like super
Oh,
hate,
for sure. For
right?
sure.
But I'm not trying to like like spread the hate or whatever here. But what I'm saying is that um you gotta really learn how to also adjust and learn how to be flexible
Yeah,
from
that's
the
true.
inside, right?
Yeah.
And that was my biggest challenge because I am, as you know, I'm a driver. I'm a lion, right? When it comes to people, like I'm very aggressive. I'm very aggressive, as you can see. And sometimes people misunderstand that, right? People
Mm-hmm.
misunderstand that. Um, and it was pretty hard. Like I've always had this, mentality wherein, they gotta accept me because this is me, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that's a problem, right? Growing up, I was thinking, I wasn't, I was making my life harder, right?
Mm.
Because I wasn't open to the idea of improving,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's important that you gotta listen to feedback. Like, And that's
Oh, yes.
what I super appreciate with my friends, with and you know that they're your real friends
Real
if they tell
friends.
you, if
Mm-hmm.
they tell you exactly what they hate about you,
Yep.
like face to face.
Yeah.
If they
If
say
they're
that,
objective.
Yeah.
exactly, if you're you know what, Gail, you know what, Derek, you're being so bossy. You know what, Derek, you can handle this better. Like, you know what, Derek, you don't really have to use that word,
Oh,
right? You don't have
yes.
to be like overreacting to these things. Of course, I mean, with the kind of person that I am, the well the initial reaction my initial reaction to that would be I'd get really mad. Why are
Yeah.
you telling me that I should be this and that, right? You
True.
gotta
Yeah.
accept
You
me
could
for
take
me,
it personally, right?
Most especially if you
right?
have the authority or you have the leadership, right?
Exactly.
There's
But
no one lower than
then
your
again,
time.
that's also me trying to like outcast other people, right?
Mhm.
And that's what until this day is something that I'm still trying to learn, right? But I feel like I've improved, right? That's why it's important, to all our viewers, it's
And it,
important
yeah.
that you gotta really be open to feedback,
True.
open to improve.
Yeah, exactly. And either hate or praise, this is what makes you, right? It's up to you on how you'll be able to reflect and accept. Yeah, everything as what you have mentioned, like try to listen. You will learn how to be a listener. You will learn how to humble yourself because in this way, like everything is like, in a constructive, as long as it's a constructive manner, yeah. It
That's
doesn't
true.
like really like,
Yeah.
you don't
It's not a
allow.
personal attack.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
true.
allow it to
That's true.
destruct you. You
Mm-hmm.
don't
I
allow
love
it to
it.
destruct you. Yeah, but
I love
to,
it.
yeah, construct you instead. Thank you, Gail.
All right. I know that we've been talking for almost an hour now, and with the stories that Gail shared, we've
Oh,
already picked up a lot of, like really,
so much, Gail.
a lot of inspiration. But maybe Gail, maybe if you could maybe share one tip or advice, your
Yeah.
top advice to our girlfriends who are also in the same position, or maybe is going through what you have gone through. Like they're trying to figure out how they could live with by living with passion, achieving their dreams, or making their goals happen. What is your top advice to our girlfriends?
Yeah.
My top advice is really focus on what you want to do. Like focus
I
on
love
what you
it.
want to do. Um,
On
because
point.
focus, execute. Here's the thing, right? When we were attending all these workshops, we usually hear people or probably get advice from like our mentors. They'd always say, um, okay, so what's your goal? All right, so what your goal, you gotta have a plan A, plan B, plan C.
Oh, yes.
Based on my experience, in order to become successful and really get to where you are, you don't plan A, you don't do plan B, you don't do plan C. You have plan A. That's why you call it A because it's your best plan. Plan A, what you do, you don't do plan A, plan B, plan C. What you do is plan A, plan A.1, plan
Mine
A.2,
too.
plan A.3. Right? You gotta think of other sub plans that would support your main plan in
I
order
like
to
it.
make
Yep.
your objective, your goal. That's my advice to our
Oh
girlfriends.
my, I love it. I
It's
love it.
very practical, Gail. It's
Yeah, it
very no,
is.
it is very practical because yeah, we've heard a lot. We've heard that from many people. You need to have plan
Mm-hmm.
A, plan B, plan C. But really,
Exactly.
if you want to accomplish that one thing in your life, and you badly want it, just focus on that and make all of the things under that. Execute all of those because
Hmm.
that's how you're going to
That's
really
true.
accomplish your goal.
And that's how you become decisive, right? The problem with
Agree.
another problem that we encounter really is that the indecisiveness of people,
Oh,
right?
yes.
In order for you to become decisive about something, make use of that method,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That I
I
gave
like
you
it.
guys.
Yeah. And having plan A, plan B, and plan C, you are just allowing yourself to be vulnerable in in being indecisive, right? In committing, oh,
Absolutely.
okay, plan A is not working. Anyway, I also have plan B or plan C. So if anything doesn't work,
Okay na to. Ganon,
Mhm,
right? You have that
exactly, right?
mentality.
yes. So
Oh,
you don't like, improve the standard or the quality of your works because you always have an option. But Gail is so right into like having just one plan. But if it doesn't go wrong, you don't derail yourself by choosing another plan, but focus onto it and work on sub plans wherein it's still workable for you, but you still have one end goal, right?
that's true.
So,
And you fail. Like kids, you will fail, right?
oh
You
yeah.
will
Hashtag
fail.
real
But
talk.
the
Oh.
important thing is you gotta get up, right? It's real talk. You're gonna fail. I've failed multiple times in my life.
Oh, yes.
Several failures, like got me in so much trouble, right? But what matters is how you're gonna get back up. Your failure doesn't matter anymore, right? It shouldn't matter, right? That's
Yeah.
done. Get up,
Yeah.
right? Do something about it.
Right. And learn
True.
from those failures, right? Because
Exactly. I love
take
it.
something good about those failures
Yeah.
and apply it going forward. All
True.
There's
right.
always something
So
to learn about, right? Thank
exactly.
you,
So
Gail.
wow. We wish we had more time, Gail, since we'd love to hear more
Yeah.
from you. But yeah, so we've come to the end of the program. So thank you, Gail,
So
for
fast,
sharing. I
Almost.
really love we really love your stories and how you've overcome all of those challenges, and I really love that tip,
Indeed.
just
Indeed.
focus on that plan, that big goal.
Yeah. Go bold or
thank
go
you.
home.
And thank you so much for inviting me. I love being invited to these things, especially when there are viewers who are their goal is to get inspired because deep inside of them they want to do something. They just
Yeah.
really have to hear it from the right people. And
Yeah.
and I love what you guys are doing. I love the motivation and the objective of Gaw
Thank
friends.
you.
So more
Appreciate
power
it.
to
Thanks,
you
Gail.
guys. Super
Thank
good.
you, Gail.
Yeah.
And where
Thanks, Gail.
can our listeners follow you? Can they follow you on Instagram,
Yeah,
on
or
Oh yeah.
Facebook?
any announcement would you like to share?
Yeah, well, you guys could check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I do not use Twitter that much,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd like to plug Creative Kartel because
Of
we do
course, go
have
ahead.
our social media
Hmm.
pages,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can check out Creative Kartel on Facebook, right? If ever you need any help for any multimedia needs that you need, like for example, event coverage or production, or like you have a script that you want to execute and turn it into a film, then go right ahead and go to the right people. Go to Creative Kartel. You need a specific book or a website. You need a website. You need an application. Go ahead and go to Creative Kartel. Then
Perfect.
we'll make it possible. So just go to
Perfect.
our Facebook
Awesome.
page. That's Creative Kartel on
Creative
Facebook, and
Cartel.
then
Uh,
on Instagram, I think on Instagram it's Creative Kartel underscore. Because
understood.
apparently someone already got it. So
Actually, just that is
so
just
yeah.
what I'm about to share, Gail, because for our GAWfriends or other listeners who are watching, they could easily find you through Creative Kartel Media. Because I tried searching you through Creative Kartel, and there are so many Creative Kartel actually having a Facebook page. So you better find them in
They're crazy.
Creative Kartel Media. That is your page. It will
Mm-mm.
pop out.
Okay, there has to be media there. Okay. All right. Thank you again, Gail, and super enjoy this episode,
Yeah.
girlfriends. Thank
And
you
we
so
hope
Creative
much.
Kartel
this is
so
yeah, this
much.
is not
Me
going to be the
too.
last,
Thank you
Gail. We
so
hope
much.
that we can have you the next time around. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And so
Thank you. Thank
thank you so
you.
much,
Probably
Gail.
All right.
with my other teammates. Thank
All
you so much,
right.
And thank
guys.
you to all
More
of our
power.
viewers on Facebook.
Thank you to the
We'll,
viewers and thank you
we'll,
for staying with us.
all
Yeah.
right. See you guys next Wednesday. Bye, girlfriends.
Bye, girlfriends. See you.
Bye.
GAWfriends is available on Anchor and YouTube.
You may also find us on our Facebook page. Just search Growth and Wellness so we can continue our conversation together with our fellow GoFriends.
Also, if you wish to collaborate with us, just drop us an email at gawfriends@gmail.com.
Do you like this podcast? Please give us a feedback and share this with your friends and loved ones.
See you soon, GAWfriends!